Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our podcast. I'm Kris, joined by my brothers Adam
Hello.
and Eric.
Hello.
And we are back in the room once more to give our take on video games. And in this week's episode, we are going to be giving our take on the three-game dilemma. This dilemma is where you can only play 3 games for the rest of your life. Any gamer's nightmare. It's kind of like that old game where you're going to be on a desert island and there's so many items, but you can only choose 3 of them. Which 3 items would you take with you to make your life more bearable on this here desert island? But in this case, it's done with video games. You can, of course, play this game as well yourself and with your friends. It's a great way of figuring out, like, would you go to your top 3 favorite games? Or would you think about how much range a certain game gives you because it's all you have for the rest of your life? Or would you think about, there's many different angles you could come at this, but it's a great way of figuring out why someone would pick only these 3 specific games. And you can also play it with like movies, TV shows, albums, or 3 artists that you can only listen to for the rest of your life. You could do it with anything. But for the purpose of this, we're going to be talking about video games. And we'd also love you guys to jump in and get involved in the discussion as well. So if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to jump down in the comments at any point and share your 3 games that you would choose if you had to do this dilemma as well. And if you enjoyed this, please do give this video a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and click that notification bell so you know we put out future content. You can also touch base with us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Brothers Take if you'd rather get in touch with us that way. And if you're listening to us on audio platforms, maybe that's the way you'd want to touch base with us. But without further ado, let's get into this dilemma.
Many choices.
So many choices. Yeah, it's kind of. I've struggled with this myself. I suggested the topic and then I regretted it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is difficult. But I've got to put the difficulty on Adam first.
Oh, jeez. Thank you.
And yeah, no problem. Honestly, I feel I can't go first because
Sure.
I've spoken too much already.
Okay.
And I already know that poor Eric is probably tearing his mind apart because he can't even pick 1 game he likes, never mind 3. It's like you ask him for a favor and he's like, oh God, Jesus, can't I just pick my library? So he'll be interesting. But even before you mention any of the 3, Adam, like what was your thought process behind like, was it like, oh, just go straight for the 3 favorites, or what do you do here?
No, not 3 favorites. Generally, my 3 favorites are just like a very short experience anyway. So don't play them forever. Is it eventually would become your not 3 favorites at some point.
Yeah.
I think as well, considering where we're at with the PS5, Series X, Switch style games are only going to get better. So what you want is to pick something that you're not going to be envious of the type of technology, etc. coming out. It needs to be a game that kind of holds its own. There's longevity to it. So that's where I was thinking.
Okay.
This guy, huh? Big brain.
Yeah, no, it's just interesting because now I'm like, oh, what the fuck has he got here on this list?
Well, the first one that came to mind would just be San Andreas.
GTA San Andreas. First game.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much you can do in it.
This is true.
And I suppose if I went if I was to choose the PC version, it can be modded to fuck, so you can do whatever you want forever, really.
Yeah. I think actually that you've said PC version, we should clarify that. Anyone who's playing this along with us, that's a rule, okay? You could pick a certain edition or version of a game. That's okay. What you cannot do, like, so you could pick a remastered version, you could pick an ultimate edition or whatever. You could do that. That's okay. It doesn't matter what console it's on. What you cannot do is pick a collection that was bundled as one package, such as the Nathan Drake collection or the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, for example. You cannot pick any of those as one singular game. Those are 3 separate games packaged together, just so you know going forward. Okay.
Because at least with San Andreas, you've got one hell of a soundtrack to keep you entertained.
Fuck yeah, man. Yeah.
There's just endless chaos. It's not a simulator, so there's still just a fun game mechanic to it. It's got a co-op, so if you had someone with you and you wanted to play with them, you could play with them. It's a very long game too. I mean, there's so much you can stretch the hell out of it. Never mind the mods that you can add to it, but you can stretch the hell out of it. So that's my first choice. But
and it's got all those RPG elements too, in terms of like customizing your character and
buying houses,
that kind of thing. Buying houses, living your life,
getting fit, getting fat.
Yeah,
getting
there's
fit,
a lot
getting
to
fat,
it.
Getting effed. The 3 Fs. The 3 Fs of San
And
Andreas.
it's a game that I continue to play. Like I have it on my phone, and it's still a game. It hasn't aged in a way where I'm like, oh god, I'd love a remaster of this, right? So oftentimes when I'm playing a game from the past that I have a lot of love for, I'm like curious as to see what would this look like with the newer tech and bringing it up to modern. I don't really look for that for San Andreas. I think its jankiness is its charm. Like the really tank controls and all that kind of stuff is just is funny.
It'll also always make you feel like you're in that era, that skater era.
Yeah.
It's like if you want to feel like a teenager again, it's like San Andreas. I'm a teenager again. It's like straight back to it. Well, I don't know. If you want to, in Eric's case, if you want to feel like a 6-year-old again or something, San Andreas.
Yeah.
But in Adam's case, it's definitely
good old 6-year-old therapy when you're going around a chainsaw. And San Andreas.
Yeah. Certainly takes me back to school. And will I keep rattling through?
just
the fact that Eric mentioned a chainsaw and then you went, it takes me back to school.
got to school with a chainsaw.
What did they hit you with?
I immediately thought of the Deftones. I don't know, that song,
Back to School.
I had never really listened to the Deftones growing up, and that song, that music video used to come on all the time on like Scuzz.
Yeah.
Is Scuzz still going in everyone music channel? Anyway,
I don't think so.
And so that, as far as I was concerned, that was the Deftones, and people were like praising the Deftones, but I hadn't heard anything else by the Deftones and just thought that was it. And I was like, I cannot fucking stand that band. But that was all on one song. Like, that song is not good, but actually I have listened to other Deftones stuff and I'm like, oh, they're pretty good actually.
Well, it's kind of like well, not that I'm into Tool anyway, but when Schism is the only song that kept coming on, right? I don't think Schism is a very good representation of Tool, although it's one that people obviously love. But I think
it's one of their shorter ones.
I think they have better songs than that. Or another one is Ghost. Like they kept playing the what's that song? The Capri? No. What's the name of it?
I don't know. When you say Ghost, I think Square Hammer every time.
Yeah, no, that's a bitchin' song.
A banger. That should be on the radio.
That's like that is their best one, but
out there somewhere, world, put Square Hammer on the radio. It's fucking excellent.
I'll bring up the song.
Go on, get it out. It's now a music podcast, guys.
Yeah, that's how music.
You know the song Cerise?
Oh yeah, that gets played a lot, and it's not actually. It's a good song.
It's okay, like.
It's not a good representation of the discography.
No, but that was my first exposure to them, and I was like, what is everyone raving about?
I get you.
This is not good.
Yeah.
But
I get you.
Their other shit is awesome.
Yeah.
What are we talking
about? Games and stuff. Okay, so what was your second game that you're gonna play for the rest of your life, Adam?
Well, I think it has to be Skyrim. There's no way.
Take your shot, everyone.
No.
Why? Why
mad.
Skyrim? Why? I'm serious. Come on. Why?
Yeah. Why Skyrim, Adam?
And you know what I can't wait to hear? Well, you know what I can't wait to hear though? Which fucking edition? There's so fucking.
Doesn't matter. It's just the PC version. Because either way,
Yeah,
that gets that had the special edition,
like all the DLC
free.
and
It just came for free to it, and it would, and there's the modding scene as well, so you can. I mean, you could run around as Cloud in Skyrim if you wanted to, right? So if you're like, I want to, or if let's say I'm like,
What are you trying to do? You trying to sell this to me? Like what?
Well, you asked me. You asked me what? Why?
You
Why?
asked me,
I'm giving you my reason. Right?
What more do you want? What fucking more do you want from me?
I mean, we could reenact why exactly Gondor wasn't there when the Westfold fell through mods. So you could do whatever you want with it.
Yeah, you could. You could.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. He got you
not
there,
wrong.
like.
Isn't it fucking weird? I know we've said this before, but isn't it weird that Skyrim is still, at least in my opinion, the closest thing we have to like a Lord of the Rings video game?
Yeah, one that feels.
Even do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even though I know there's Lord of the Rings property games, and like
Yeah.
some of the strategy ones like Battle of Middle Earth are fucking great, but in terms of feeling like you're living in this fantasy world, going on these quests, why to this day have they still not literally used that formula for a Middle Earth game? It's crazy.
They're
to
way
me.
too focused. Like same with like the Shadow games, Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War.
Yeah.
I think they're too focused on the combat. You know, they're too focused on like the war and the fighting. Whereas Lord of the Rings is a culture and geography and history book, right? There's fighting in it, but it's a history book.
Yeah.
So
Welcome to history class. We're now going to look at open your book, Lord of the Rings.
In the name of Mordor, open your book. X was giving out about the betrayal of the Nazgul in the
I'd say
Fellowship.
the betrayal of the Nazgul. They are the Nazgul.
Sorry,
that's
sorry.
the original intent.
No,
Do you hear me?
That's the
book-
wrong version. He wrote
In the
them wrong.
book adaptation of the movie.
Yeah, he did them wrong in the books.
Yeah. But no, you're right. Like, it's a Middle Earth game doesn't necessarily have to be. It's like, oh, let's take the Arkham gameplay. The other thing is they keep trying to tie him into the movies. They keep trying to tie him into like these are other people on their adventure while that's going on, and it's like, guys, there's so many periods.
Yeah, there's an entire book called The Silmarillion. There's a
Like
book called The Fall of Gondolin. If you're
Yeah.
wanting a war book or a war game or whatever the hell, you got The Fall of Gondolin. Just go for that.
They could easily do like what the Elder Scrolls does, because each entry is obviously 100 years later or something like that, and it's going up through the ages. They could easily do that with Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Like,
Easily.
But there's probably a rights thing too, you know?
Would
like,
would you say that Skyrim would ever get to the point when you're like blasting some orcs with a 9mm, like you're doing a drive-by? Did you ever get to that point in Elder Scrolls?
you probably could.
What? Oh, in Elder Scrolls that they'll get kind of futuristic later on in the line.
Yeah. So it's
I don't think they will.
Elder Scrolls 90 San Andreas.
No, they wouldn't. Do you know why they wouldn't?
Because they can't even
I know you're kinda joking.
because they can't even make a 6th.
They
Think
haven't
they're gonna
even
get to
made
90?
Like, they're never gonna make that. What are you talking about?
They'll be releasing the 6th one like every 10 years, a new edition of it before they'll ever
Yeah.
move
Get
on.
the 7.
And you know what? We'll buy it every time.
Well, it depends. We'll see what way they go with it.
Yeah, okay. Gee Louise. You're probably already buying it. You're paying Game Pass.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
You're buying it even as they're making it. I don't think people get how that whole subscribing thing works, you know?
Enjoy
Some
your
people are
coffee, Todd Howard. I paid for that.
Yeah. So do you ever hear people say they vote with their wallets, so they're really particular about what to pay for, but they're paying every streaming service out there, and you're like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
You are paying for everything. You just don't know it. Yeah.
Paying for things before you even get them.
Yeah.
Or you're paying for the promise of greatness, which is odd.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, the promise of greatness. Anyway. Yeah, I suppose, like, what else can you say about Skyrim at this point? What else can we say about it, except that we should talk about it more?
So what, Adam? What are your reasons?
Yeah, why Skyrim?
Well, think about what game would you want to play, right? Think about, like, just in the moment, what game do you want to play, right?
You've won. Like,
Yeah, you
yes,
know what?
the answer
Just
is
Skyrim.
Just whatever game you want, just add the mods to Skyrim. There you go. You're grand.
Yeah. Like, could you make yourself the Ghost of Tsushima?
Yeah, I was
But
gonna say it's like
but explore Skyrim. Of course you could.
The gameplay would
Yeah.
be nothing like it,
Mods.
but
No,
yeah,
it
what
would
they just
look like it.
You'd be like, I am Lord Sakai, and I am fucking killing dragons.
yeah, it's
Lord
really
Sakai.
weird
How
because
cool would
they
that be?
have the mods right on the PS4 version of Skyrim, right? And then one of them was like, they're awful.
Yeah.
They don't work. But one of them was like, they have the armor and weapons of Geralt of Rivia. And I'm like, oh, class. I'm going to download that. But I have The Witcher 3. But for some reason, I thought Skyrim would be more complete if I had The Witcher in it. And there's another one where it's like, you can have the armor, the armor and axe of Kratos from
Right.
God of War 4.
Yeah.
Or 7.
Just God of War,
whatever.
yeah. Or
God
whatever
of
it
War.
is. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, class. Skyrim be complete with that. Even though I could just play God of War 7.
Could, but if you could only take one of those games with you,
You know what I mean?
you know,
It's like you can put the God of War into Skyrim, but can you put the Skyrim into the God of War? No, you
Don't
cannot,
think so.
sir. You got to think about this. This is about the long game.
you can
know?
have
about
lightsabers
the
in it.
Like,
You know,
yeah,
That's
yeah.
true. That is true.
Don't bring Jedi Fallen Order with you. Bring this.
it's like you want a Harry Potter game. It's already there.
Yeah, go to that fucking
go to
college
Winterhold.
of Winterhold,
There you go.
motherfucker. Yeah. Oh, you want to rob people? You want to rob people?
Yeah, you want
Huh?
a thief game?
You want a thief
Just go to
game? Thieves
Riften.
Guild. There you go. Just got a Riften. What are you waiting for? You want an Assassin's Creed game? Join Dark Brotherhood. What are you wanting?
You want a Van Helsing game?
Sure.
To join Dawnguard.
Join the Dog Guard. What do you want? What do you want?
It's all there.
Yes, no, it's all there. It's all there. I know. I understand. I understand your reasons for the two games so far. And then so
So my third one
your third.
is a
Did you
game.
struggle with any of these, or were you like
The
no,
third
straight
option.
away?
The
These
third
would have to
option's
be-
a struggle, right? So initially I was like, you know what, it'd be hard not to bring a Metal Gear game.
Yeah.
Right? But then
No, yeah.
I don't know what kind of longevity would I get out of it. So I was thinking, like, I've never played Dreams on PS4,
This is ballsy.
but
This is very ballsy.
considering it's a game maker,
That is so fucking ballsy, but also fucking genius.
Yeah.
I didn't
That
even
And you could-
consider a game that I've
you could
never
have
played.
other people making levels. I mean, it's part of the game, and you just download them all.
You fucking cheater.
That's
So,
not
hold
cheating.
on.
That's not cheating.
No,
That's
no,
the
no,
part of
no,
the game.
This
That's part of
is
the game.
where you-
Cheater.
No, listen. This is where you're cheating, though, right? Well,
That's
no,
part
it's
of
not.
the game.
It's not cheating. You found a loophole. You found a
It's not
loophole
a
with the game.
loophole.
You did.
It is
You
a
know why?
loophole.
You know why? Because
Why?
you can go, man, I'm really in the mood for Metal Gear Solid right now. And
Yeah.
then you message, like, if someone hasn't made it, you like message your friends. You go, guys, we do me a solid here.
Make-
Make me, like you can literally like just tell other people. It's like, now I really want to play this game. So could you give me that in
Just
dreams? Could you
scour
give me-
Reddit for
give me this? And
someone to
before
make
you know it, you've actually built up a library of games within one game.
Truth.
You get away with it though, because it is one
That
game.
is
That's
the
It's
game.
just
part-
a-
That's
That
how it
is
works.
part of the game. That's
you
So I
clever
think those are my
bastard.
three.
Wow. That dreams one caught me off guard. That was
yeah.
really-
That was good one.
that was clever. That was good. Eric,
Yes.
I don't even know, where does your mind go when you have to try and pick three games for the rest of your life?
I actually first went with genres.
Oh, okay, you went genre by genre.
Well, yeah, kind of like, all right, if I go, fantasy and horror and, to try fill all of them, but then there's just too many genres. Apparently there's more than three
There's more
genres.
than
in the-
three.
Right.
Yeah, there's more than three genres there. But I was
So
thinking
then-
like,
Then I tried
Like
to go by studio, and I was like, oh, there's more than three of them too. And
oh, what about voice actor? Oh, there's more than three of them.
oh, fuck, why is life complicated?
But yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, if I had horror, would I go like Resident Evil 2? And if I go, fantasy was Skyrim, but the exact version Adam was talking about, the one on PC, so that you can mod it and that will last you forever and ever and ever.
So is that one of your entries?
That would be one of my entries. Skyrim is one of my entries. So take a shot, everyone.
Yeah, I don't know if we've explained that to people in a while. If anyone
No,
missed
we
out on that
haven't.
one, but basically, we've had this ongoing joke that Skyrim is now a drinking game for our podcast, and every time we mention it in an episode, someone can take a shot because we
And-
mention it so much.
I think without fail we've now mentioned in every episode.
Nearly.
Yeah,
Since-
pretty much.
since-
Nearly
And
nearly
not
every
all-
episode.
And not always on purpose. Sometimes you're in the heat
No.
of like just talking about something, and you're like, okay, I'm about to give an example, and you're like, oh, here I go again. I genuinely can't think of a better example than Skyrim.
Yeah.
So there we go again. But yeah, so that's the
Alright.
ongoing gag there.
Yeah, so Skyrim, the legendary edition on PC, so you can mod it. Then that kind of got me to the line of, could I then go for like, I suppose XCOM 2? Because you can mod that. That would make that game longer. Because there's the mod of the Long War, which actually makes the game longer. But I was like, oh, but that's then an entry, and there's some other great games in there. And then it kind of popped into my head as well. Does Ever Crisis technically count as one game?
Oh, you cheeky motherfucker.
We don't
Because
know
if it
yet,
does,
actually, do we?
We
what
don't
way it's
know
working.
yet. Why don't we say for now, yes, because it's coming under one title, isn't it?
Yes, it's these things and
Like it's going to be episodic, but in the same way as like The Walking Dead, you could get those episodes on their own, but then it all comes out as one actual game.
yeah.
That's not actually, versus, and then they do them in seasons, of course. So season 2 would be a second game.
Yes.
That wouldn't be the same as the first game.
So Ever Crisis would probably go there.
You motherfucker.
So Adam has his dreams, and I have my Ever Crisis.
Sure.
Okay, so we got Skyrim, we got Ever Crisis, and then for the last one, last entry.
You don't even know if Ever Crisis is gonna be good though.
Or if it's ever going to be complete.
I'm sure they're not Bethesda.
Plus, I was thinking.
Adam, you don't even know if Dreams is going to be good, and you chose that.
You don't know if that. It's true. You don't.
You don't
No,
know. if
I
Dreams is
know
gonna
that, but I know it's complete. It's made.
Something,
I'm not
something
saying.
complete.
I'm not
That's
saying.
all I can take evidence of it says complete.
Like I'm not going. Oh yeah,
No.
I'll take Ragnarok with me. The game that's not even out.
I go on though.
I mean, are we referring to games that are we actually have a hold of, or are we saying like literally anything in the near future?
Can you imagine? You're like, okay, I want. Then I'm taking with me, the eventual Metal Gear Solid remake. I know it's happening. And I'm taking it with me. All right, I'll take Horizon 3.
I mean,
sure
Ever
they'll get
Crisis
there.
is not actually out. So what are we saying here about the criteria?
That's pretty.
Do
harsh,
they need to
isn't
be
it?
games
Okay.
that are out?
That's fine. Just shit on my games. That's
well,
fine.
I didn't shit on your dreams.
With your
I
fucking
think I think technically it would have to be a game because let's say you're going now,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah,
have
take
to
all
take
three with
these
them.
3 games for the rest of your life.
Okay.
That I don't know, like maybe you go where I don't know where we're going. Are we going to some spaceship or underground bunker? But anyway, yes, it's not actually out yet. Sorry,
Okay. Fine.
but if it had been out, would have been a great shout because you're getting a lot of actual games.
Yeah, I'm getting allowed to. Yeah, I get.
Well, you're actually only getting the bit that launched, aren't you?
for fuck's sake, Adam. Come on.
You're not-
Stop with the technicality.
No, I meant like if the whole thing was out. I meant if it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
all out and done and finished. Like
Gotcha. Mhm.
what a dick, right? Well, actually, technically, you're only get. It's like, yeah, we said you could have the game. We never said you could have the mobile that plays it. No, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's another
Is
thing.
there a charging port on this desert island?
Don't you don't have to think about the console. If there's a
the
game that you
logistics
can
of
bring
it.
with you, yeah, you're gonna have the console in wherever you're going
Mhm.
to play the game that you've picked. That's
You
it's
have
great that we're explaining the rules as we go. The people have probably already like, and then they're going, "Fuck you anyway." Like,
Yeah, screw with that.
none of this makes sense. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, it's like I'll take Abandoned with me. And, fuck, I can't. It's not done.
Okay.
so
Mass Effect 3.
Tree.
What the fuck?
Whoa, no,
Wow,
that threw
okay,
me
cool.
off. That's
with
cool.
with mods and all the DLC.
Yeah. Okay.
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 I mean,
Okay.
in all honesty, this is a part where, as console gamers, we are just becoming PC gamers because it's like the PC version.
This is why people play PC. They buy one game and then they make every game.
Well, I mean, you're still restricted to the game engine, so you wouldn't be able to do.
I know. It was only a joke.
I know, but I mean,
You're restricted to the game engine with Dreams.
Yeah.
Dreams is a game engine, so like you
Yeah,
just build games with
okay.
it.
You can only pick 3 games to take with you. Okay, I'll take Unreal Engine.
I mean, it's on the Steam store. No, it's not.
I take
But there
Unreal
are-
Engine
there are-
and Frostbite and you're like, those aren't fucking games.
And Destiny.
Mario
can
Maker.
play them.
yeah. And the Fox Engine.
Oh, okay. So we got
This is getting out of
Skyrim.
hand. You have
This-
Skyrim and Mass Effect 3 so far. Why
I don't
3?
know. I don't know.
You told
'cause-
me.
Yeah,
you
but
told
it
me.
sounds like Adam want me to change it.
I don't want you to do anything other than just give us 3 games that you would play.
Every
for
game I
eternity.
listen to go, nah.
Yeah, you go Mass Effect 3. It's like, really?
I'm just shocked.
Really?
I'm just shocked.
No, you
that's
should
all.
change that.
No,
Why are
no.
you shocked?
That's-
don't
if
care.
I
You
was
do what
you-
you do what you.
If I was you, that's not what I would pick.
That doesn't sound like an
Why
Infinity
you
Blade
just-
at all.
You see, it did come into my head because Infinity Blade does last forever.
But it's not
Infinity Blade.
It's not available though.
It is no.
In this world, come on, give me something.
Are you fucking kidding me? No,
It's
that
not,
game
though.
is that game is complete.
Right, but it's not actually. You can't get it though.
Are you trying to tell me that
No,
I'm not?
no.
I can't have Battle for Middle Earth as one.
Like no,
Because
in this reality, no, you can get it. If it was a game that it was available, you can get. We said you don't have to worry about the logistics of like, oh, where can I purchase it? They will provide the logistics. These secret government people that we
Okay.
are actually signing up to. There will be a phone or a tablet or something in there that has Eric. If you want Infinity Blade for the rest of your life, you can have it. I
Well,
think
I
you're
know, but-
we're sacrificing enough here that you can't. You can't have that.
No, you can't have that.
Eric mentioned something as like, you can't have that just because we don't agree with you. No, you don't want that. You don't want that. I'll tell you what you want. Anyway, so you have Skyrim. I think that'll do you. What more do you want?
What's next, Eric?
Were you serious about Mass Effect 3?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay,
why Mass
Skyrim
Effect
and
3?
Mass
then?
Effect 3.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to know why.
With Mass Effect 3 with the mods, right? Because it's
Yeah.
the last one, so you have all the characters, and you have the finale, and you have the amazing soundtrack, and you have the somewhat better graphics and gameplay,
Yeah.
and you have it's great to keep in shape.
Yes, it is. Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you. Sure.
That's
Great.
That's why.
It's a great game. It's a great game.
Great game.
And do you know what your number 3 is?
Well, I don't know because Adam might come around and say, "Well, technically, that's not a game."
Well, say it and I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me.
Yeah, it's like, Doki Doki. It's not really a game. That's more of a
That's just
visual novel.
What are you
Yeah.
playing with here exactly?
Yeah.
by yourself.
What about?
I'm thinking
yeah.
next.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell, this is awful.
Was there a game that you thought of that you were like, no, actually, I won't pick that because I've picked one of the other 2?
Well, like I was kind of thinking one of the Uncharted's or Metal Gear Solid or Last of Us, but then I was like, they're only strict to console, so you can't even expand upon them if you get bored.
Yeah.
And they're quite a very linear story. It's kind of once you've played it, you've played it, and when it's done, it's done. There's not
Wow.
really like unlike Skyrim, where every time you jump onto it, even if you've completed all the quests, you still will find a quest because you're like, this game is like procedurally generating some crap. And Mass Effect 3,
It has to be.
Mass Effect 3 then would be that story-driven game that I can just enjoy on an emotional level.
Right.
So now I'm
So
thinking,
you have your open world game and you have your pretty linear, epic kind of
epic
story-driven game.
So now
Hear
a
ya.
game to really challenge myself. I will now actually resort back to a game I mentioned earlier, which would be XCOM 2 War of the Chosen on PC.
Oh shit! Cool.
Unless that doesn't meet Adam's criteria.
Let me check. XCOM 2.
XCOM 2.
It is a game. Check. That's all the requirements. Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
No. There was another requirement. It is also finished.
Oh,
is
it's
it
available.
Finished?
It's available.
It's done.
It's
available. Yeah, you can have that.
And on the PC version actually gets extra not just mods, but actually did get extra content that the console never got. So
very good.
Yeah,
it is interesting actually that once you narrow it down to like you have 3 games for the rest of your life, suddenly it's like the PC version of everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so for my 3, I found this very difficult because I was like, obviously, yes, you're like, there's a couple of ways you could go about this, and you're like, I don't want this to come off as like, oh, these are my 3 all-time favorite games, because like my all-time favorite games is when I can play anything whenever I want, and then these are the 3 best experiences of the lot or whatever. Then this is like, fuck, like this is gonna have to do me forever. Whenever I want to play a game, I can only play one of these 3. So what's gonna like fill those certain needs or wants that you might have at certain points? Yeah. So I just fucking get it out of the way. Skyrim was first because
Yeah, buddy.
like, for me, that's that like sandbox game. It was actually this. I felt it was the San Andreas of the PS3, Xbox 360 era, where it was like you can do whatever the fuck you want in it, as well as go on fun quests or missions or whatever. But you could just go, fuck it, I'm gonna run around and just rob people, and then you get chased by the police, like, you know, 5 stars wanted.
5 stars, dragon comes in.
Yeah, busted. So for me, like that's the perfect like sandbox game, as well as so whatever mood you're in, if you just want to fuck around, throw on Skyrim. Then if you want to really go on some kind of crazy adventure or quest, Skyrim. You can make different characters every time you replay it, so you could actually change up your experience a bit. You could decide to leave some quests behind or do other quests.
You can
know what I mean?
buy a house, fill it with furniture, go around and collect all the books in Skyrim, fill your
and then read them,
bookshelves, and then just read them in your spare time.
And that's like playing some games as well. You just read.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's
so
actually, as much as the amount of times I've played Skyrim, obviously, like, there's still so much of that game is untouched by me.
Yeah, no, 100%. How many shots are you drinking now? But is anyone wasted as we talk about Skyrim this much? But no, there is like there's plenty. I haven't done every quest available even, and I mean the smaller quests. Mm-hmm. Like there's little side quests and stuff that I still, if I was to put it back on, I pick up something and I go, "There's more." You know, I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like, when will I ever finish all these? I haven't completed every dungeon. Like, I've never done that. I've done most of them, but I never actually did them all.
Oh, there's a lot.
And there's a lot.
There's
like lots of monsters that you can hunt and stuff. But you could even give yourself a side quest. Like you could decide, right, my mission this week, I'm going to hunt and kill every spider in Skyrim. If you wanted, you could give yourself something like that, a challenge if you want. Yeah. If you say you've platinumed the game, you've done everything. But now you can just give yourself shit to do. And there's plenty of room in the game to do that. And then you've still got that amazing, beautiful score and the beautiful world. And yeah. So Skyrim was one of the, even though it actually wouldn't be one of my top 3 games.
Yeah.
It'd easily be top 10, but that actually wouldn't be one of my top 3. In terms of this scenario, it's like, it has to go in there. It's just a perfect keep you occupied game. And plenty of new stuff to see. For my number 2 spot, I can't go the rest of my life without it. Are you kidding me? Final Fantasy VII, the original, the PS4 edition. I believe that's the PC port anyway, though. Actually,
it is.
That I have to. That's like, you know, when
I wonder if there's mods on the PC version though.
I think there might be. But you know when you're like, if you listen to Christopher Lee and he talks about how he read the Lord of the Rings every year,
Yeah.
like once a
Yeah.
year, every year, right? Like I have a similar experience with Final Fantasy VII. I replay that so many times, and I never get sick of it. Like it's the best game ever. Like it's and it's got such an amazing score and amazing characters, and that's going to be that grand scale adventure of actually seeing the entire game out. But there's also stuff in that I've never done. Like I've never on my own actually gone and done the Knights of the Round side quest.
Okay,
Because I remember we had
quite a beefy task.
Yeah, like if you wanted to take on that kind of stuff, that's actually quite difficult to do because we had a what was it? It was like a cheat machine or something, wasn't it? For like the
Exploder, I think it was called, or it plugs into the back of your PlayStation 1.
Yeah, and then it just you can download cheats or something for various PS1 games.
Yeah, unlocks everything for you. Mm-hmm.
So I've experienced Knights of the Round, but I've never experienced actually going and doing it, getting them. And there's some other stuff in it that I've never done. Or like people, they always bring up little secrets. Oh, if you actually do this thing and this thing, you can do this. And you're like, what? I never fucking knew you could do that. So I think there's still plenty of longevity you can get out of it, but I just have such a soft spot for that game that's like, I got to take that with me. That's coming. The third spot was the hardest one because I jumped to those two straight away.
Yeah, it's tricky.
I having a fucking clue. I was like, I mean, you could be in any kind of a mood. Like, what if I want something a bit fast paced? Or what if I want something kind of stealthy? Or what, like there's so many different things that I could want. Eventually, I narrowed it down to two. And now I'm going to need you guys to help me pick one.
Okay.
That's where we're at. That's where I'm at. Okay?
You'd be so fucked if Adam chose one and I chose the other.
Yes. And you know what? When I say the two, that might happen. The two that I narrowed it down to for very different reasons. Because I was thinking about the Uncharted series. And I was thinking about the Metal Gear Solid series. But then I was also thinking about, like, fighting games. I was also thinking about like hack and slash games, and then I was also thinking about choice-based games and character creation games and things like that. So trying to bring in as many of those things as I could, I got it down to two games.
Okay.
One of them was Mass Effect 2.
Okay.
Because it's got shooting mechanics, it's a cover shooter game. You could replay it so many times. You could play Male Shep, Fem Shep. You could play Paragon, Renegade. You could go in the middle. There's plenty of side quests. There's amazing characters. There's that synthwave score. There's a great storyline as well for just a linear adventure. But there's so much other fucking shit you could do. There's that underground reality in terms of like the whole Omega thing and everything. It's just a badass sci-fi adventure, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other one was Batman Arkham Asylum. Because it's got the Metal Gear Solid-isms, but it's also got really fast gameplay that if you're like, I just want to try and something beat the shit out of people, I can do that. But it's also a great Batman adventure and a great story with great voice acting from Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. And I got down to the two of them, and I'm like, which one do I take with me to come along with Final Fantasy VII and Skyrim as my three games for the rest of my life? So I don't know. You guys, you got to help me pick one. And actually, as well, anyone who's listening, touch base with us, either on social media, at The Brothers Take, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or down in the comments on YouTube. Like, which one should I pick? You say it now as well. But I want the guys to help me out here.
I think Batman.
I see. Right. And Eric, what are you going to say?
See, I was also kind of for a moment thinking, yeah, Batman. Yeah. But then I was thinking of the longevity of Mass Effect 2.
Yeah. See, I know. Yeah. I thought it would go this way. I feel like it's got to be like a little court case now, and you got to give me someone has to win me over. Okay. Win me over. Which one? So Adam, you're saying Batman. Why Batman?
Well, if you're looking for a game for longevity, you've already got the two of them, right? But you've got two RPGs, really, really long quests. One you can just jump in and just mess around in. But Final Fantasy VII is not quite that game. It's, you got to really dive into it. So if you're just wanting to throw on a game to just arse around in a bit, I think Batman would be the better experience over Mass Effect, because I do think Mass Effect is quite on rails a bit. Although yes, Batman is also a linear experience, but you do have that kind of combat. You also have the challenges as well. Have you ever done them, the challenge modes?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you do.
So there's quite a bit to Batman still. And could you seriously go the rest of your life without Batman in it?
Oh my god! Hold on, we only said whoa! Whoa! You've just changed the game a bit. Hold on. We're allowed to watch whatever movies we want, though, right?
Well,
Yes,
I suppose so. Yeah,
I didn't think these three games
No,
were
no,
like
I
our
know,
only
I know.
entertainment for the rest of our life.
I know, but to not be able to play as Batman.
No, I hear what you're saying.
Mm.
I do. It hurts me a little bit. Yeah, Batman, big deal to me.
And the Batman too. It's not just any Batman. It's like
I know it's Kevin Conroy.
the official Batman.
Dude, he signed my
only
thesis.
Batman, really. You have a thesis on
fuck?
Batman.
I have a thesis on Batman, and Kevin Conroy signed it. Fuck. How do you get your head around that? Okay, Eric, give me the case for Mass Effect 2.
You can always just mod Mass Effect 2 to have Batman in it.
You could always have mod Batman to have Shepard in it if you want to do so.
Space Batman with guns.
Space Batman with guns. Think about it.
Give me more.
Well, yes, you do have the challenges. Yes, you do have Kevin Conroy. Yes, you do have Mark Hamill. You do have a great game, great story. But this is for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And Mass Effect 2 has way more choices and diversity in it. And like choices to make with characters and stuff like that. And plus a lot more customization to be had, a lot more outcomes, a lot more side quests, and it is a longer game. Yes, it's quite a meaty, linear style RPG, much like Final Fantasy, but it's quite a different one. What you have is you have now two RPGs that are quite melee focused.
Yeah.
But you don't really, and then if you go Batman, you never have a shooter.
I'll never shoot a gun ever again.
No, because you have Batman who will never.
Because
use
I'm
a gun.
anti-real guns. So I only shoot video game guns.
Yeah.
So, well, I live in Ireland. There aren't. We don't have guns. Oh my god. Yes, that's a good point as well. I'll never play a cover shooter ever again.
No.
Fuck. Maybe I should just go for dreams and I can have both. No, I won't take someone else's answer. Oh my god, this is so hard. This is so hard. Who came up with this game? I did. Why? Fuck. Batman or Mass Effect. That's huge. Like that's why did you now find this as hard as I'm finding this? See, you guys are like
Batman and Mass Effect or
no, just
choosing a game.
three games for the rest of your life.
Well, the trick is to just forget about most of the games you have and love, and then just pick the ones that.
Like, I'm surprised The Witcher 3 didn't come up for you, Eric.
Oh yeah, that's a game.
Yeah, it's quite a big one.
Yeah, but I could just have it in Skyrim.
You see, this is it. I'm thinking about that as well. Skyrim is going to fill that kind of fantasy void, right?
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII fills that
fantasy
like
void.
No, but it's
that
but it's
Final
not...
Fantasy void.
Yeah, I have to have one of them. But like it's not a medieval fantasy. It's a sci-fi. Like it's more like a Star Wars adventure nearly. Yeah. Like it's so and that's oh god. Well, Bart shoots a gun, right?
He does.
And Vincent Valentine. Yeah.
Fuck it, it's hammer time. I'm gonna go with Batman. Because I know I'll miss Metal Gear Solid as well. And that's just a self-contained adventure where, like, I remember playing the demo for Arkham Asylum about 100 times before that game came out. Over and over and over again. Never got sick of it. Just trying out the different ways I could take down those guys in that room with those gargoyles.
Back in the day when there was demos and demos were good.
Even though Mass Effect 2 would give you more longevity.
I know. I knew you were going to go for Batman.
I didn't. I thought.
But I think that Mass Effect, like even though there are multiple ways to do things, right? It's kind of the same experience either way. You know what I mean? Like, yes, there is a different choice and stuff, but it's not like it's not a drastically different experience. So you are kind of just replaying it over and over and over.
I think what it is, if this was a case of like, oh, you got to choose trilogies to take with you,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if it was a case of someone was putting up, and you can only have 3 trilogies or whatever for the rest of your life, and if it was like the Mass Effect trilogy or the Arkham trilogy, as much as I fucking love the Arkham games, in that case I would have to choose the Mass Effect.
Really?
Because I could play through that whole trilogy 10 times, and it could play differently each time.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
So for you know what I mean, and it's more interconnected.
Mm-hmm.
The Arkham games, you could take any one of them on their own and let it be its own game. You know,
Yeah.
they're connected, but in very small ways. And as a trilogy, it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah, you
It's
definitely see more
just-
variety with Mass Effect as a trilogy. Yeah, seen it through, it's definitely going to be a different experience. As a single game, not that different, but
Exactly.
as a
So
trilogy,
as a
yeah.
singular game, then Batman Arkham Asylum. Okay. So that's those are our top 3s. But I would love to hear what other people would choose if they're put in this like similar dilemma where they can only choose 3 games
That
for
have
the
to be
rest of their
completed
life.
and have to be counted as games and have to be available. And
Yeah. That
Honestly,
follows
I thought
really
most of that
strict
shit was a given.
criteria. Yeah, what were you thinking? What were you thinking, Eric?
Because otherwise I could just like pick whatever game out of existence. Like,
Yeah, or no, that
yeah, but
no,
we
that
know
will
whatever
exist.
will
That
ever
will
exist.
exist.
yeah, but we knew what Christ was going to look like. We knew it was being made. So I just kind of thought to myself, you know.
I would like the Untitled Goose Game 2. I don't think we'll ever get a sequel to that. They'll make something else, won't they?
Yeah, entitled Weasel Game. You play
No,
as a weasel?
yeah, I don't know what it would be, but they'll make some.
Or-
They won't make a follow up. They'll make something else.
no,
Or an
nice.
otter. Play as an otter that has escaped an aquarium and they have to shut down the area.
Yeah, they're fucking vicious.
Yeah.
Did we ever tell you about the time we were in Birmingham? Me and Eric. And we went to the aquarium. It was really cool. But they had otters there, and we are like, "Oh, they're so fucking cute." And then your one was like, "These are the most dangerous animal we have." And we were like, we thought she was joking. They were like, and she's like, "No, really." And then like she was like smiling as she was saying, like if one of these guys got out, we'd have to evacuate the whole square. Everyone would be in danger.
See her?
And she was
Like,
like,
there was like a woman behind her as well, like feeding the otters. Like, see, she has shin guards. If she doesn't have those shin guards, they would just tear her right into that with a big smile on her face. And we're like, me, Chris,
what
what the fuck is
What
wrong
the
with this
hell?
one?
I thought they were going to be cute.
Surely she was over exaggerating.
No.
No.
She said, "No, your one really had fucking body armor all over her." Like
Yeah, she had like
Yeah, well, I imagine you'd have
they
to.
were saying, you have to have the same, like the license that you have to work with otters is the same as you would have to work with a lion. They're like really like vicious,
Wow.
apparently.
I know platypus are actually one of the most dangerous animals in the world.
Don't they have a fucking like venomous spike in their elbow or
Yeah,
something?
yeah, and there's no anti-venom for it.
Holy shit!
That's what makes them dangerous.
Someone needs to make an
platypus.
entitled Goose Game style thing. with
No.
platypus.
But instead of Sharknado, it'll be Platypus-nado. So it's a it's tornado. It takes up lots of platypuses, and then
Is
They, like-
platypuses the
Platypi.
platypi?
that's just spinning
Platypi in the sky?
their elbow hook things to start shredding people. But they
Jesus
also the people
Christ.
get like infected venom. God, that'd be some horror movie, wouldn't it?
It'd be shit.
Oh, that's why the Sci-Fi Channel does it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, guys, do let us know if you're watching this on YouTube. Jump down in the comments. Let us know what your top, or not top 3, what 3 games you would take with you for this dilemma. If you could only play 3 games for the rest of your life, which 3 would you pick, and why would you pick those 3? What would be your entries? And what do you think about the games that we picked? Do you think that we made the right choices, or should we have picked something else? Do let us know. This is audio platforms you can also touch base on. Social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Brothers Take, again, to let us know. What have people been playing lately? Looking now to the present instead of the future.
No, apparently we can't look to the future because the game isn't made yet.
Wow, you're real sour, huh? Yeah.
I want my Ever Crisis.
I just want everything.
I stayed up all night playing, well, not all night, but up until about 12ish, clearing. I mean, I did it Saturday night and I did it last night, so I'm very
Okay.
tired.
Yeah.
Clearing Doki Doki Literature Club.
Oh, okay. Well, without giving anything away, what did you think of it? Let's have a. Why not? Yeah, tell us about it.
Oh boy. Saturday night where I stopped at a certain point. I saved and I went to bed. I lost sleep. That genuinely, when they say if you get disturbed easily, don't play the game, they are not kidding.
It's funny that you say that because I only watching someone else stream it, and I'd said this before when I was mentioning to you. I lost sleep over it too, and but I'm curious as to why you lost sleep, because it's not that I was like okay, I think like people need to be very transparent when they're talking about Doki Doki Literature Club. That when they're saying it's in any way kind of disturbing or whatever, it's probably not what you're expecting. It's not Resident Evil Village in the Beneviento house. It's not like that. That's not what people are saying.
No, I genuinely, at that moment where I finished on Saturday, to myself, I was like, that is probably one of the scariest things I've ever experienced in a video game.
Okay, okay. That's interesting.
Based on
people are different though.
What I perceived the game to be, what I thought the game was, I was just like, my heart genuinely dropped. My eyes widened. I was horrified of what I saw.
Did you experience Doki Doki?
I did. I really fucking did. And I genuinely, like, I couldn't really concentrate during work. I was working from 11 to 6 Sunday and I couldn't really concentrate.
Did you find yourself thinking about the game?
Yeah. So I was like, that's why I stayed up until I cleared it, because I was like, I gotta know what the fuck.
It sounds like a modern version of, like, you know, like those games that people did, like, where you do some sort of action and then you have to look into a mirror and say it 3 times and then people say they see a face or some shit.
Right. Yeah.
Or even just a Ouija board.
Where you're like, I just don't fucking get it. And then you do it and you go, oh, that's weird. Yeah. Kind of, I suppose. So obviously, yeah, we're not going to give anything away. Adam hasn't experienced it yet. But
Adam's probably going to laugh and smile and think it was hilarious.
Or go, I don't know what the fuck is on about this shit. Because I don't think it's going to be for everyone, and I also don't think it would. Like, I was talking to someone who was like, "It's fine. There's nothing wrong. It's grand." And I was like, "What's wrong with you?" And they were like, There's nothing wrong with it." I was like, "Are you kidding me?" But did you think it was good by the time you'd finished it, Eric, or do you think it's like, that wasn't?
I really enjoy. I actually, honestly, for me, the worst part was probably the build up. That was actually quite boring. But I actually still really enjoyed the build up because of almost the clues it was dropping, and then it all sort of coming together in the end. So actually, I really enjoyed the whole thing.
Yeah, because I started it to get some of the stuff, because I'd skipped through some stuff. I was like, there's probably stuff in there that I don't know or that I've totally missed, and just because I already know what the ending is or whatever, as I was playing through that, what we would call the boring part of the game, there was stuff that I was reading that I was like, oh my god, it's right there. I could it's kind of like it's right in front of you, but you've no context yet.
Yeah,
like if you were ever to go back,
like just in the dialogue or in the bit where you're like
in the dialogue,
so not in the bit where you're like selecting words.
No, not really. That's more about like impressing certain girls.
Yeah, that's romancing.
That's romancing. That's all that is.
Yeah.
And it's
that's just to give the player something to do.
Yeah. Like I don't know why. Well, the whole thing is supposed to be just like a dating app simulator. That's essentially what it is. And they always say the blinder you go in, the better. And if you can actually forget that anything's going to happen and just buy into the fact that it's a dating sim and just go with it, then it might surprise you more.
I don't know what to fucking make of it. It's really difficult to put down other games and pick that up, I have to say, to see it. I
would agree with that.
So
I would agree with that.
Yeah, we'll see.
How far are you in it? Or do you know?
Well,
Can you even pinpoint where you would be?
I know time wise I'm 2 hours into it. I don't know. I can't really remember where I left off.
Mm.
So not
Okay.
sure. I think they have to do like they're preparing for a poetry read.
Right. The festival or something.
Yeah,
right?
they're
Like,
preparing for that.
yeah.
So they were doing
Okay.
their practice sessions amongst themselves, reading their poetry.
Like, is that not badass?
So metal.
Did you fucking love reading poems, man? And hanging out with chicks that are drawn and that are in school. That's a bit weird. Anyway. So Eric, you've finished Doki Doki Literature Club.
Yes. I did.
We will have to do an episode on it when Adam finishes it.
Yeah.
Even regardless of whether everyone likes it or not, it's too interesting. It's a very interesting conversation starter. Just like what it is and why this guy ever made it. Does it even count as a game? Like, I think that's even like, Eric, would you count it as a game having finished it?
Just 1 second. Like, it's a very good conversation starter. Could you imagine you're in a pub and you see someone, you're like, you go right up to, it's like, hey, you played Doki Doki Literature Club?
Okay, no, I didn't say it was a good conversation starter.
You did.
It's a good conversation on a gaming podcast. Not in some pub somewhere like, hey, dude.
Hey, you play this game often?
Yeah.
Your Tinder profile will be, if you haven't played Doki Doki Literature Club, don't swipe.
Yeah. I don't want to know. I don't want to know you. But, would you class it as a game having finished it?
Yeah, I suppose so. I interacted with it, and it was it's a game. I wouldn't exactly say it was the most.
Yeah, it's not the most riveting gameplay.
It's not the most riveting gameplay, but I mean, it's no freaking different than I suppose like Telltale or something like that, or even that game Erica, where you're just making a choice and something happens.
But I'm 2 hours into it now, and the amount of choices I had to do were like minimal. Like most of it is just going.
Yeah, but
click,
there's
click,
still there.
click,
Still
click,
still there.
click, click. It's kind of like although the context is different, the amount of interaction is a bit like that. I Am Mayo game.
Mm.
See that, Eric?
No.
There's a game on the PlayStation Store. Well, I assume it's everywhere, but that's where I saw it. And it's just a jar of mayonnaise, and all you have to do is just click it with a spoon. That's the game.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can make anything.
And basically, if you tap it, I think 1,000 times, you get the platinum.
Game development is like science, right? Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should.
Well, I think that's a great I've seen a load of people in terms of trophy hunters. I've seen a lot of trophy hunters buy that just to get the platinum. Like, there's such an obsession over
of just getting that
platinum trophies that they'll play probably the easiest shit ever.
Yeah.
Just to be able to
Or
get
is it the hardest shit because you have to tap something 1,000 times? Which that means you have to sit there pressing the button
No,
1,000
people just
times.
constantly
Yeah.
just they're pressing it, right? But they'll be watching something else. Come back to it then, and they realize they've got the
They've done
platinum.
Yeah. How much is it?
I think it could be like £4.
Okay, well, I suppose that's not a lot. If it was like 20 quid, I'd be like,
Yeah, that'd be ridiculous. Wouldn't it?
that's a bit much.
After playing it though, Eric, would you pay €13 to play it on a console?
No, but I've played it.
That comes with all the DLC though.
Oh yeah, would you love to play more of it?
Yeah, I have wondered after
Would this be
playing
one
it-
of the 3 you take with you to play for the rest of your life?
that concept, the other thing that popped in my head is like, how do you do DLC with this game?
Yeah,
Pay
it's
€13 and find out.
it is interesting though. It is interesting. It's like what the fuck could the DLC be?
Yeah, what did they add in, an extra person?
No, I think it's to my understanding, I don't know. So maybe if someone out there does know, you can let us know. But to my understanding, the DLC are extra time with each girl. Like one DLC is based on one of the girls, another one's on another girl, and it's like different
So it just
side
prolongs
stories
the
with them.
combos. Yeah.
And I can imagine one of them would be very, 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 very interesting. But I don't know if all of them would be as interesting. But maybe they would. I don't know. But yeah, let us know. Someone out there who's played it and knows the DLC. Maybe let us know. Is it good and is it worth it? Do you think it's worth 13 quid? As a free game, which is what it was designed to be. The guy never ever intended to. It's just that it took the world by storm then, and then suddenly people were like, we want a console port of it. And so on and so forth, right? And it probably the charge maybe covers also distribution costs and that kind of
there's
stuff
definitely
as well,
yeah,
right? Like there's a cost to doing this. So in that sense, that's one thing. But the guy is not looking for money, and he's probably not making money on the game anyway. It's just he had this concept and then executed this concept. And what's interesting to me is when you're talking about, it's like, I'm not having a lot of choice here. And everything you're saying, I'm like, it's going to play into the concept of the game, or at least I feel it does. I feel it does. So it's just such an interesting thing. It's just, and it might still, you might be like at the end of it, it's like, that was shit. But even if you are, it's still fucking interesting.
Sure. Okay.
As you can clearly tell, Kris is very interested to talk about this game.
Yeah, I am. What can I say? I am.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to talk about it too once I get through it.
To fucking give out about it. Adam, what have you been playing?
I've hopped back into Breath of the Wild. It's a game that I kind of, obviously played it when I first got it, but I got distracted essentially. I just never got back to it. And I wasn't that far into it, so hopping back into it now, I'm just like glued to it, and I'm trying to get through it and complete it in preparation for the second one next year. But yeah, it's fucking so good. It's so good. It just feels like one of those games where, like San Andreas or Snake Eater, right? Those type of games where it doesn't. There's a real simplicity to it. It doesn't have all the newer kind of tech that would be in modern games and stuff, but like sometimes it doesn't even tell you what to do or where to go or anything like that. You just kind of have to figure it out. But I was talking to my friend yesterday about it, and there's these things you can collect in the game, and they help enhance your kind of sashes, let's say, or the amount of weapons you can carry. And so if you collect enough of them, you can increase your weapon inventory, for example, weapon slot.
Right.
And I was like going around collecting a bunch of them. There's 900 of them to collect. I think I only have 60 or something like that.
Holy
for
shit.
where I am. And I'm like, you know,
didn't take this game with you for. For
well, it probably would last quite a while. But
yeah.
He was telling me that there's ones, they're in places where you wouldn't recognize. Like a lot of them, it's pretty easy to know. You probably know what I'm talking about, Eric. Do you? The Korok seeds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like some of them you're like, oh yeah, I know there's one there. Like it might be as simple as just picking up a rock and it's
then
there.
it pops up.
Yeah.
Or there's another one where it's like, I think it's in like a pool or something, or a pond.
Yeah, and you just have to drop into it.
Yeah, and then it just appears.
Yeah.
Like you look at it and you see, oh well, that looks like something special because it's like a circle of rocks in the pond, and it just looks out of place. Like so, yeah.
So, but there's a bunch of that. My friend was telling me that you probably wouldn't recognize. You probably passed a bunch of them. So he just let me know, and I can't wait to get back into it to try it out. But he said there's sometimes you'll come across apple trees, for example. And what you have to do is make sure that you remove a certain number of apples so they all match. And once they all match, then the Korok appears. Jesus
Christ, how are you supposed to figure that
exactly,
shit?
But it kind of gives...
That's old school, though.
Yeah, it has that, like, you know, that playground chatting about games, and then one of you has figured that out, and then you go home and you try it, and you share your knowledge. Like, it's really good in that sense. Like, it's modern enough that, like, there's... Like, I mean, the amount of shit... You can climb anything in the game. Nothing's restricted to climb. Like, everything you can climb. And you can interact in the environment in very modern ways. Like trees can be cut down, and then you can chop you can cut down a tree, and then it becomes a big trunk that you can actually roll to hit your enemy kind of Ewok style, or
Deadly.
you can chop that trunk up even further and grab wood for making a fire later. Like, there's a lot of shit you can do in it. Like, it's a really, really impressive game.
I think I did that to make a bridge one time. Cut down a tree so it fell
Yeah.
and land on your side, and I used it then the tree trunk as a bridge to get across the canyon.
And there's no like one way to do things. It's like, you know, whatever. Like sometimes you might be doing like shrines, which are things that help you increase your health and stuff. And you mightn't actually have the right equipment. So you could say, like, let's say you need a fire arrow to complete the challenge. But I don't have any fire arrows, so you might need to leave and come back, or in that moment try use whatever you can to your advantage. So it might be that there is actually a torch nearby, so can I get close enough to it to try fire my normal arrow through that flame to cause a fire arrow to hit the thing that I need to be hitting and set it alight. So yeah, you can get really, really creative with it. But yeah, it's a game that I like. I didn't get it when it first launched because I didn't have a Switch at the time. I think it was like a year late to it.
Yeah.
But in that year, like, it launched 2016? No, 2017. 2017 is when it launched. I think I got it around
Is it that long ago?
2017.
Yeah. Fuck. It doesn't feel like that long ago to me.
The Switch?
Oh no, sorry. I mean Breath of the Wild.
Well,
When did Breath of the Wild come out?
the same year as the Switch.
Yeah.
That was the
it
launch
doesn't
title.
feel like that. I actually thought the Switch was out longer, but I didn't think that game was out that long.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why.
Yeah,
in
no,
my
it's-
head, the Switch has been around for a fucking long time, but Breath of the Wild
I think,
hasn't.
yeah, the Switch feels like it's been around forever, but it's only been 4 years.
Jesus. That's crazy, right?
It is, yeah, because it's like, that's the equivalent of maybe when Uncharted 4 launched on the PS4. Like, it's just that much of lifespan, and the amount of games for it, and the amount of shit for it. Like, it almost feels like we're ready for the next one, but obviously not.
But that's the thing. I did feel that way because I think
Yeah,
that's why,
but
like, when the Switch
it's
OLED
actually
was
quite
announced,
young.
I was like, a bit disappointing. But yeah, fuck. I don't know why I thought it was so much older.
Yeah, I always felt it feels like it's been around forever. But
Are you guys excited for Breath of the Wild 2?
yeah, definitely. Like, after getting back into that and stuff, because I remember I left it because I was getting a bit stuck with it, and I didn't have patience. So the year I got it would have been 2018.
Yeah.
There's a lot of distractions in 2018.
There sure
with
is.
the amount of games
There
that released.
sure is.
So
Yeah, that's the year of God of War and Spider-Man and
so I
all
certainly
stuff.
didn't have the patience for it. But right now I'm like kind of in this area where I'm, games are getting delayed and stuff like that. So it's nice to be able to hop into it. Like, I know I have games access to through Game Pass and stuff, but sometimes sometimes you don't have access to the TV. So it's nice to
Yeah,
be
of
able
course.
to-
Yeah, to pick up the handheld, why not?
Yeah.
You were just mentioned delayed there. Maybe by time this podcast is out, like, we record usually a week in advance or sometimes a few days in advance. So by the time they come out, sometimes there's information that outdates some of the stuff we're saying. But so this might be a null point, but like, I feel like a rumor came out about Horizon Forbidden West, right? It's probably true. It seems pretty true. Everyone ran with it. Guerrilla Games haven't said anything about it. I don't know why. Like, there's so many articles I read that's just like, it has been delayed. But if you follow back to the source, someone said it'll probably get delayed.
Yes.
It hasn't been officially delayed.
There's a rumor
at
of it
time
being
of
delayed.
recording. Yeah.
yeah.
But I've seen so many people just say it's delayed. It has been delayed now to 2022, and it's like, right, by the time this comes out, maybe that's true, and maybe it has been. But also, it's like, guys, and I wouldn't be surprised if
Wait
it
till
gets
it's
delayed.
official.
But it's like, yeah, don't just fucking run with the story. Like, it's like everyone else is doing it, we better do it too, Because I remember you said it, and then that it might be, and I was like, that's kind of a bummer. I was kind of, I didn't think that one would actually. I didn't think that one would get delayed this year, but the closer we're getting, it seems like it might, because they weren't able to reveal a date or anything on it the last time they showed it. But I was going to do a post on it then when I saw so many people writing that it had been delayed. I was like, oh, now it's official. So I'll do a post on it because we like to keep up to date with this kind of stuff anyway. And we did one for God of War. But then I went, but I'm gonna look for Gorilla's tweet because I shared the Santa Monica's tweet with the God of War delay to say that's where we got it from. And Gorilla hadn't tweeted anything. And then I realized the more I was looking at the articles, I was like, they're all just going off that rumor. It's not official.
No.
You know? So I don't know. I don't like that. Even though they could be right, I just don't like that they're all just
Well,
running
that's
with it,
kind of that is now modern journalism today.
Well, it's like running with the okay, so nobody is saying that abandoned
but it's not
that abandoned is. They're saying it could be.
Yeah.
Nobody has ran a headline. You know, people with their own opinions on Twitter and all have, but nobody has ran with a headline. Abandoned is this. They're just saying, oh, there's more information that reckons it could
but
be.
it's just that with journalism, if they do see, just like news channels, if they do see a story being covered, they will feel that they have to do it too, so that they can get the viewership, and therefore to get the viewership, they get the money.
Yeah, but most
so if everyone has done it,
most of them though aren't it's not IGN or anything like that saying that shit. Like they're not the big.
No, but there's enough doing it that now people, you know, and look at. They know as well nowadays, most people skim past articles. They read the headline and they go, that's enough. And they go, oh, it's been delayed. And then they just run with that. Like, so I think like the way this stuff is worded, I think should be worded more carefully. Like as opposed to Horizon Forbidden West delayed till 2022. That's the headline. Then if you read the articles, you know, a rumor suggests that Horizon Forbidden West may be delayed until, you know, it's a shame to me that.
Are you suggesting journalists should take responsibility in what they write, Chris? Like, what kind of madman are you?
Suddenly, we go from fun gaming podcast to political drama. Yeah, I am.
Yeah,
they should. I read there's a great quote from Denzel Washington.
Yes.
Look it up. It's a video on YouTube. It's fucking brilliant. But a journalist asks him about it, and he's like, he talks about the responsibility of journalists.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, at the moment, it's, you know.
Who's
just
first?
write it fast, get it out quick. Who's first? Who gets the story first? Not who's right. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, you know, if you have too much information, if you don't have enough information, then you're uninformed. If you have too much information, you're misinformed because it all came out too quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that was the quote as he put it. He was like, you know, people should maybe take responsibility for the words they're putting out there. I mean, this is not that serious. Horizon probably will be delayed. It's not. It's you know.
Well, what's interesting now is that like so it had an opportunity to come out this year, and it would probably, I don't know, could possibly be up for Game of the Year. Maybe.
Right. I thought this very same thing that you're about to say.
Depending on how well Halo Infinite performs. Now it's going head to head again. Never mind God of War, right? God of War Ragnarok's supposed to be coming out next year. It's also going head to head again with Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. and like whatever we think about it, Elden Ring.
Yeah. I think I don't know if
probably going to be a big. I think it'll be
up there for as a contender for sure. But God of War is going. I think God of War is going to take it.
Like, let's see. Like we'll see.
Don't even have to play it.
Come on, you got. That's something a journalist would write.
They'd want to really mess up big time for that not to. I can't see Horizon sequel being better than it.
No, I can't either, personally.
And I also can't. Like I think Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be a great game, but I think it's going to be much of the same. I can't see Nintendo aren't very quick with really innovating their games.
Right.
Their games tend to be like they have a formula that works, and it's like, okay, let's do that again.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be kind of the same thing. Whereas I can imagine God of War Ragnarok is going to have like you saw through the struggle that they made making that first 2018 one.
Yeah, that documentary Raising Kratos is brilliant.
I feel like they were like, all right, we've learned our lesson and we know exactly what to do, and we know what we should focus on, because there's so much that was cut out of the game. So that means we're going to get a whole load of new shit. So that's why I think that one's gonna. I can't see Elden Ring. Like I think it'll be good for those who like those type of games. But the thing is with God of War is it offers that level of challenge as well that those type of players are looking for.
Yeah.
So I think. It's
Oh
going
no,
to be God of War.
I'm just saying that Horizon is entering a year where it's up against Elden Ring.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
Yeah.
regardless,
I think. Yeah.
you
That's
remove God
a
of
good
War
challenge.
from the conversation for a second.
Yeah.
I think that like Elden Ring is still a contender when you have Horizon in the conversation.
Yeah, I think in terms of like favoritism, I think it'll probably go God of War, Breath of the Wild, Elden Ring, Horizon.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly. And it's a shame. It would have been nice to get one of those really big games this year, one of those big blockbuster games. Like I think now, what's interesting to me is like earlier on in the year, when people were reviewing Resident Evil Village, I was actually on the Kind of Funny Games cast. They were talking about it, and they were going, so far at the moment, could this be a contender for Game of the Year? Right?
Yeah, I think
And
so.
most of them were like, no.
No.
But one guy who loved it, he was like, well, so far for me, it is my Game of the Year. He's like, it's my Game of the Year so far. And depending on how many games would have released in the year, some things can shift and move and change.
Yeah.
Now, I think it has a really good chance. It's like a really strong chance of definitely being in the conversation for sure.
Yeah.
Like 100% in the conversation. Maybe Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is another one that would be in the conversation. I'm just trying to think of like these other games that like I'm curious what Kena Bridge of Spirits is going to be like. I think that could be a very interesting game.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it'll be Resi 8, Ratchet and Clank, maybe Returnal.
Returnal had a lot of buzz around it, but it's quite niche. But
Yeah.
then at the same time,
So
in a
was
way,
Sekiro.
so was Last of Us Part 2 in a
Yeah.
way. It wasn't like big mainstream. Like not everyone loved it, but like from a critical standpoint, it did really well. And so did Returnal. So that's
Halo Infinite.
yeah.
Will be
Like
there.
if Halo Infinite it turns out to be really, really, really good, like it's probably going to win best multiplayer anyway. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And
definitely.
It's certainly win categories, but would it win Game of the Year? It'll probably be a contender.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what that campaign is going to be like. I'm really curious.
Yeah, definitely.
Look, the Game of the Year conversation is always interesting to me, but I wonder now. With
It's
these
good, yeah.
delays
But
as
are
well.
we back in like a 2018 or not 2018, 2019 kind of phase again? Because it's
I
like
think we weren't, but now we are.
yeah, because
We weren't at the start.
We're
of the
getting
year.
Death Stranding again.
Yeah. No, I like at the start of the year, we weren't. And now we are.
Would the director's cut be counted for Game of the Year?
I don't think they
We
will
said
be.
that. We said that before, and no, I don't think it will be. I don't think those.
All right, so
re-releases-
that Stranding wouldn't really.
But
count.
then
That
hold
or
on.
Ghost of Tsushima, I wouldn't say so. No.
Hold on. At last year's Game of the Year awards,
Yeah.
now, I'm not saying not the Game of the Year, but in some of the other categories,
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate Edition was up for Best Fighting Game, and that was a re-release or a director's cut or a special edition of Mortal Kombat.
that was the Ultimate Edition. It was where I had all the DLC and the extra content in it.
And I don't know if that was just to say it's like, well, this was just in terms of fighting games this year, it was just an outstanding example, and maybe it's a what's the word I'm looking for? Like maybe that's not to happen again. It was like a rare occurrence or something. But maybe it's also opened the doors to no, fuck it. If a game has new content and if it deserves it, if it's still the best in the category, then it wins.
Yeah, you might see.
Maybe not Game of
There
the
might
Year.
even be a new category for
Right? Yeah.
most enhanced game.
best re-release of the year. That would be interesting in itself. But yeah, I'm interested in all this stuff. I also wonder if these delays cause a domino effect on the following year. It's like, is now certain games that would be coming out next year, are they going to be pushed to 2023? Because ultimately, some of these games might push other games out, especially if they're coming from like similar studios.
Yeah,
and
well, they're
also-
not though, so I don't think it's gonna have a much effect.
But it's like PlayStation Studios, for example.
Right.
I think they've made it very clear they do not want to release Horizon and God of War at like the same time.
Well, it won't. Yeah, no, but it won't be the same time. It'll just be
No, I
a
know,
different
but-
point in the same year.
But what I'm saying is, it might even say a game was even supposed to come out earlier in the year.
Right.
It's like, well, now we need Horizon to get that slot, so that game's going to have to go a little bit later.
Oh yeah,
This
yeah.
game's
But I
gonna
can't
go
see them pushing
little
out a
bit
whole
later.
new year though.
Oh yeah, but if something's supposed to come out in December, a few months can equal a different year, because we don't hear the dates, we just hear the year.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Understand.
I think they would be happy enough to release them. It's like their games sell so fucking well. It's not like people
Oh
are
yeah, yeah, no, I
hard
know,
pressed about like, oh shit, which one will I get? It's like obviously both.
Fuck. Yeah, yeah. Just you get one first, and then later get the other one.
Yeah.
I know.
Hmm.
Anyway, guys, do let us know. So far, what do you think your game of the year would be, as well? That we've brought up that conversation of the games you played so far this year, or just even of the ones that you think have garnered the most excitement this year. What do you think is a strong contender for game of the year so far across the board? And getting back to our game that kicked off this discussion today, what 3 games would you bring with you if they were the only games that you could play for the rest of your life? Which 3 would you pick and why? If you're watching this on YouTube, let us know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this, be sure to give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and click that notification bell so you know when future content comes out. If you listen to us on audio platforms, you can also touch base with us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Brothers Take, again, to let us know which 3 games would you bring with you to play for the rest of your life. And so far this year, what is your game of the year? Thank you very much for listening, guys. We'll be back to talk about more video games next week. Bye-bye.